So, as most of you know, I've been living and traveling around Southeast Asia for 10 years now. I've lived in Vietnam, the Philippines, and currently in Thailand. And when I first came out to Southeast Asia, I traveled very differently than what I do now. I packed differently, I spent money differently, and I moved around differently. And honestly, there are a lot of things that I used to think I needed that I now realize I absolutely don't. So in this video, I'm going to show you how 10 years of living in Southeast Asia completely changed the way I travel. And if you're thinking about moving or traveling out to Southeast Asia, some of these lessons might save you a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of frustration. Stick around for today's video.
Asia calling me instead. Bangkok nights and Bali shores. Sick of dreaming, want something more. Pack your bags, don't hesitate. Gio, let's go before it's too late. Time keeps slipping.
The biggest change is probably how much I pack. When I first started traveling, like my first trip to the Philippines in 2015 and my first trip to Thailand in 2016, I literally wanted to pack everything, including the kitchen sink, extra clothes, extra shoes, electronics, things I thought I might need someday. And even when I first moved here, it's like I brought all this stuff that I realized I really didn't end up needing. And you realize something once you move out here, and that is you can buy almost anything you actually need once you live here, especially in Thailand, Vietnam, and even the Philippines. So now I travel with much, much less. I want clothes that are lightweight, like these dry wick type shirts. They're comfortable, they're easy to wash. You could even wash them in a hotel kitchen sink and then just hang them up to dry, and they're dry in an hour. I don't need 5 different pairs of shoes. In fact, now whenever I travel, I bring 1 pair of shoes, and I'll typically, if it's going to be a beach or place like that, or I'm going to go to the pool, I'll bring maybe a pair of water shoes. And I definitely don't want to be dragging a giant suitcase around the city. So now I pretty much a small travel bag like this here, or a suitcase that I can carry on to the airplane. And because I travel lighter now, having a good carry-on has become much, much more important to me. This is the Nobl travel carry-on, and there are a few things about it that I really like for the way I travel. First, it's zipperless, aluminum frame designed with TSA locks, which give it a really solid feel. It also has a 360-degree spinner wheels, which is something I really appreciate when I'm moving through airports or rolling luggage around Bangkok. And then there are a couple of features that I didn't realize I'd use as much as I do, like the built-in phone holder and the cup holder, which is pretty convenient when you're sitting around an airport waiting for your flight. There's also a USB charging port, so you can connect your own power bank inside and charge your phone while you're traveling. For the way I travel now, I don't want a suitcase that's just something I throw clothes into. I want something that's easy to move around and make traveling a little more convenient. And there's also an outside easy access compartment that you can even fit a laptop in. I'll put a link to the Nobl in the description, in the pinned comment, if you want to check it out. The second thing that's changed is that I don't plan every minute of a trip anymore. When you come out to Southeast Asia, and when I was traveling to Kenya and places like this, I would make this big list of all the things I want to see and do. Restaurants I want to try, places I want to go, this temple, that restaurant, this marketplace, this attraction. But after you've been here for years or just traveled for years, and you get a lot of experience, you realize that some of the best experiences that I've ever had have been just unplanned, spontaneous trips, or a restaurant you walk by and say, wow, that looks interesting, let me go in there. And I really do think the best experiences come when you don't have a plan at all. So now, yeah, I still will find some places that I do want to check out that seem like absolute musts when I travel someplace. But for the most part, I travel with a pretty open-end plan. Even hotels and stuff, I land and I'll do like 3 nights That way, if I don't like the hotel, I can move to a different place. If I don't like the neighborhood, I can move to a different place. I can get out. If I need to get out immediately, I'm not worried about losing a couple of nights of hotel fare. But I'll walk around the neighborhood and just kind of see where it takes me. I'll find a restaurant that wasn't on my list that just looks good. I'll sit down and have a coffee at a coffee shop that looks unique to me. And sometimes these random experiences are sometimes the memories that really stick with me, that I really enjoyed the most. Most of my really, really great memories are now of places and things that I've done that were never on my itinerary, and just kind of random things that I kind of picked up along the way. And another thing that's really changed for me is what I look for in a place to stay now. When I was younger, I think it was much more focused on the hotel or the apartment itself. How big is it? What's the view? What are the amenities? Does it have a rooftop swimming pool? Now, I think I'm much, much more interested on what's outside my door. Is there, like for Thailand, for example, is there a BTS station nearby? Can I get groceries or snacks without a taxi? Are there restaurants within walking distance? Is there a pharmacy nearby? Can I get to the airport easily? And can I also enjoy walking around the neighborhood? Are there good sidewalks? Is it safe? And after 10 years of living around and living in Southeast Asia and traveling around, I've learned that a good apartment and a bad location can really become a terrible place to live. No matter how nice your little oasis is inside, when you step out the door, if it's no good, I'd rather have a mediocre place to live in a really nice outside area with all the conveniences that I'm looking for. And also, I don't always look for the cheapest option. The cheapest option is not always the best. Sometimes it really is worth spending a little extra money for certain things. Listen, Southeast Asia can be extremely affordable, especially when you come from Western countries. But I don't make decisions purely based on price anymore. I'll pay a little bit more for convenience, for a nicer location, because there's another cost that a lot of people just don't think about, and that's really your time. If you save $100 a month, but you spend hours with transportation getting to the different locations that you want to get to, or there's bad infrastructure or a location you don't like, was it really worth it? So after 10 years, I have discovered that I'm not always looking for the cheapest life. I'm trying to find the best life for the money. And when you're new to Southeast Asia, everything can kind of seem a bit complicated at first. Visas, SIM cards, transportation, money, hotels, finding an apartment. After doing this for 10 years now, I don't stress about these things too much anymore. I know what I need. I know what I don't need. I know how to get around. And I know if something doesn't work out, it's usually not the end of the world. And that includes relationships and dating around Southeast Asia or really anywhere in the world. And I think that's one of the biggest benefits after years of traveling around Southeast Asia, the world, and living overseas. You become comfortable even when you're uncomfortable, if that makes any sense. And something else that has changed is what I spend my money on. 10 years ago, I probably cared more about the things that I have, possessions. I still had that possession mindset when I first moved out here, competing with the Joneses, I need the latest this, I need the biggest TV, blah, blah, blah. Now, I think I am much, much more interested in experiences, going somewhere I've never been, trying new food, meeting people, exploring a neighborhood, finding a new activity. Like recently I've started playing pickleball, and it's about meeting people. I did an open play yesterday where I met all kinds of people from all over. It was a lot of fun. Getting on a bus or a train and just kind of seeing where it goes, going to the end of the line. And these are the things that make living overseas interesting for me. And probably the biggest change I have to say is I don't feel like I have to commit to one place forever anymore. It's okay to live someplace for a year. It's okay to get up and move and go to another place. It's fine. It's your life, and whatever makes you happy. If you want to spend the rest of your years exploring the world, exploring new neighborhoods, exploring new cities, new islands, new countries, the world's your oyster, do it. And that's one of the things I really love about Southeast Asia. The Philippines was very different than Thailand. Thailand is very different than Vietnam. Vietnam is very different than Cambodia. They each have their positives and negatives and things that some do extremely well. So I don't necessarily ask myself anymore which country is the best, because there's pros and negatives for all of them. I ask myself now, I say, which country is best for me right now? And that answer can change, and that can mean cities too. Like for right now, Bangkok is where I want to be. But in a year or 2 years, it could be Hua Hin, or it could be Jomtien, it could be Chiang Mai or Phuket, I don't know. And that's one of the freedoms of living overseas. So I think one of the biggest lessons finally that I have learned after 10 years of living overseas is I don't need as much as I once did. I don't need to plan everything. I don't need the biggest apartment. I don't need to find the cheapest place. And I definitely don't need to carry my entire life around in a suitcase. I just want freedom to travel, explore, and live somewhere that makes sense for me. And that's probably why after 10 years, I'm still here, because I've been willing to, if I got bored or stagnant in an area, I went off to greener pastures, or even if it wasn't greener pastures, at least it was a new experience. So if you're thinking about traveling or moving to Southeast Asia, I'd love to know exactly what you're looking for. Leave me a comment and tell me, what is the one thing that you absolutely need when you're traveling or living abroad? For me, actually, I think it's my laptop. And if you want to see more about what it's like living and traveling around Southeast Asia and beyond, I'm going further out than just Southeast Asia now. Subscribe to Gio on the Go. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. Hit that bell notification so you're notified every time I come out with a new video. And I will see everyone in the next video. Ciao.
Pack your bags, don't hesitate. Gio, let's go before it's too late. Time keeps slipping away from us. Keep living like this. Away from us, away from us. Gio, let's go.